Do not look back.
The voice rung in the young man's ears like thunder. It resounded through a blast of hot wind that nearly threw him over.
If you turn back, Eurydice will be mine forever.
No! A woman's voice screamed somewhere from behind the stumbling man. Eurydice! The man shouted, not daring to turn back in fear. Run! Run! Follow me! The hot air came in waves, smashing against the young man's back as he climbed ever higher towards the sunlight that flooded the damp tunnel. Several times he nearly lost his foothold and fell, but through sheer determination and reserved endurance, he kept his balance and continued to push on towards the surface. Beads of sweat rolled in lines down his temples. His brow was wet and his face flushed from the extreme heat. Fear pounded deep in his heart like a blacksmith's hammer against an anvil. Orpheus! The woman's voice came again, this time further away than before. The sound of the earth shuddering and cracking drowned out her cries. Orpheus, wait! Do not turn around! Orpheus's mind screamed at him. If you turn around, you'll lose her forever. Forever! He kept his mind focused on the footfalls of her behind him, as if the faint thudding of her feet was all that mattered to him. His hope, his sanity, was the sound of her following. Now tears rolled down his cheeks and welled near the corners of his cracked lips. His eyes stung from the sharp wind against his face. His determination was a mixture of anger, fear, and love. Then the thunderous voice came again. It seemed to come from under him, under his blistered and swollen feet, vibrating up his legs, through his body, and exploding like sharp splinters in his mind. A voice unfathomable.
Heed me,
The voice spoke.
the way ahead is safe and clear. To turn back now is to undo all that you have fought for.
Hades! Orpheus replied humbly, with a wary voice that sounded almost like a whisper. If you test me, then I may fail. For if Eurydice falters or is injured, I must aid her. I must. There was silence for a moment, which felt like eternity, except for Orpheus's shallow breathing. Then the god spoke again.
Then you shall prove a failure to yourself and to Eurydice if you turn and gaze back down the mouth of the underworld. Do not doubt that my love for her is great also.
Orpheus ran, not from something hideous or terrifying that sought his end, but from his own true love. Then, as if it was all over, the summit of the climb ended in an intensity of daylight and fresh air that hummed about the opening of the tunnel like bees. Free at last, his mind raced. Free from his fear, the fear of losing Eurydice in the realm of the dead. But no, he could not think of that right now, when all that remained between them and freedom was a few more strides. Then his heart grew still for a moment, as if the world had stopped and the footfalls behind him had ceased. Eurydice! His eyes widened in surprise, his mind blank, his heart stopped. Somewhere far away, a rose fell to the ground, its petals crisp and wet, a lingering fragrance of spring, a jagged thorn. Orpheus mouthed the word no, but the sound did not escape his thin lips. He turned around.
Then it is decided,
Hades said.